I'll read. Hope you're well. So welcome back. This is another Get Heavy interview, and tonight I have the chance to with the with the band called Wargrave from London. Absolute cracking lad. You've just heard two of their songs, Discovering My Truth. Absolute bangers, and that is absolute fantastic work. Proper chat. Though we do bring the lads on, I'd like to give a mention that Ryan Stu Harris sadly passed away. As to why, but yeah, everyone at Get Heavy here, condolences to Ryan's family, friends, band. Surely, rest in power. Up to 26, still had. He was yeah. Guys, who wants to meet Wargrave? Yeah, can't say hello to. Have to unmute each person individually. So I'll unmute the lads. You are now all live on Twitch, but your microphones are muted, so that's your side.
Hello. I'm in, I think.
I think got anyone. Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Got everyone now. Oh, we're there.
I'm back.
I think we're still waiting for Wargrave official. I think that Trent.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
I think we've got everyone. So, guys, before we actually get into if introduce yourselves and your role in the kind of start.
Let's start from me. I'm a singer, frontman. My name is Roman. How's it going?
I'll go next. I'm Stuart. I'm lead rhythm guitar and backing vocals.
You.
Nice to meet you.
Remember who's gone next?
Trent, don't be so shy, man.
Oh, wait, can't be. You're in a band. You can't be shy. Go to the door and fans screaming your name.
My name's Trent. I'm the Australian cunt of the band. I play many roles, but the primary one is the other lead and rhythm guitars. So nice
Get
to
in.
meet all of you.
Get in. We've got an Australian. I love.
Forgot to mention Ginger, come.
I'll leave out the ginger bit, mate.
Eric. And we've got 2 more members.
Yeah, I'm Charlie. I'm the bassist. Yeah.
And I'm Steve. I'm the drummer and the official band dad. I think is the role I've adopted.
1 second, because I am being. How is that? Does that sound better? If anyone who was watching live. Better? Yes, no? Still cutting out support.
Yeah, absolutely motivate me. I am the band dad.
The band
for all my
dad.
sins. Yeah,
How's
for
that?
all my sins.
Can we confirm if audio is now stopped cutting out on my side? How's that? Anybody? Yes, no, confirm. Gone a bit quiet. It's fine for the band, just not for me. Would be my microphone, that's the issue, wouldn't it? It's normally the other way around. It's cutting out but very quiet. Well, my gain's right to the max. No idea what is going on with it tonight. Move it a bit closer, hopefully that's better. I'm getting good levels on my audio mic, like. Oh, it's sorted.
Yes,
Oh, there we go.
Sounding good, my end.
Yeah, sounding good for you.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah, it's clear as for us on here. You're fine.
Excellent. Brilliant. So, we've got to meet. This is Wargrave, everybody. Sorry about the technical issues that were having there. These never go smoothly, so there's always something that gans tits up. But cheers to my awesome mod, and to the Get Heavy community for pointing out my football. Have a quick slurp. So, where were? So, how did these all meet then? Did these all meet through like music, or have you just grown up with each other, or is this kind of?
I met Roman in a Taiwanese brothel in '97.
That's what apparently happened, yeah. That was a great time. When I first time pulled his beard, like. And I fell in love immediately, like, yeah, that's the thing.
So if you want to know more about that story, after this stream we'll be moving over to a more explicit channel. Maybe on OnlyFans. Maybe we can start off with this on onlybeards.com, and that's when you'll find out more about that Taiwanese story.
There's a bit of a story with Steve and Stuart that'd probably be worth kicking off on the boys. Want to start on that, or?
Yeah, go on, Steve.
Yeah, so how did we meet? So me and Stuart actually met when we were about 15, 16, and had a band together for many years when we were a lot younger. And then sadly, as bands do when you're young, you kind of go your separate ways and do different things. But obviously we kept in contact. We were in a band for a good 9-10 years together back then, so we've known each other for a very long time. So that's how me and Stu know each other. Stu, do you want to carry on from there?
Yeah, man. Trent was in a band with me as well a couple of years ago, so that's how we know each other. And then me, Trent, and Steve started jamming when the lockdown started unlocking or whatever. And then we started a new band. So that was about 2 years ago, I think.
Well, yeah, the other two dudes I think have more or less come through advertising. See the band mix or join my band, one of those forums. I think for a good year, myself, Stuart, and Steve were looking for looking for the right singer to sort of complete the lineup, and we got lucky finding Roman, who came down to jam with us, and that was pretty much the end of the story with that. That just worked. A few failed attempts at finding the right singer in the past, but it was definitely worth the search in the end, as we found Roman. And then, you know, if everyone knows, but Charlie's just joined us, so Charlie's only been around for a few weeks, and was a proper lad, learning all the songs in the run up to last weekend's run of gigs. So welcome to Charlie too, and shout out to him. He's absolutely killed it over the last few weeks getting ready for us. And same again, we found Charlie through an ad online. Sometimes you can get lucky with those forums, and sometimes it's a bit fruitless, but that's more or less how we've all sort of come together, I think.
Yeah.
So how have you found it, Charlie? Has it been a challenge for you? Do this sort of style of music for you?
Well, I've sort of like recorded more and like started projects off, but never like taken off with like metal. It's kind of been more, I don't know, a total mix of styles. Just metal's not really taken off, but yeah, so kind of gigging with this is pretty new to me. And but yeah, it's, I guess, performance and like learning the tracks and the way they're done is a bit different. But played sort of gig bass for a few years, so done that. But yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, but it's, they're brilliant guys to play with. It's been easy to sort of get involved with them. It's a really good time. Last weekend was awesome, and didn't shit myself too much, but it's close.
Nearly. It's a turtle head.
Seeped out a little bit, but no, it was all good. Yeah,
You enjoying it though, that's the main thing.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's been awesome. So yeah, looking forward to all the gigs coming up.
Charlie's been great. Getting him on board has been actually relatively painless. It's one of those things, right? When you're looking for new members and stuff, it's not just about finding someone who's a good musician. They've got to be a good guy as well, and you've got to mesh as a band, because if you don't, it doesn't work, and it comes across in the music. So, when we first met Charlie and got him in pretty much from day one, the four of us that were the established members, I guess now it was pretty much a no-brainer from kind of day one when we met Charlie, and the same with Roman. When we first met Roman, it was a no-brainer for us, and it was like that's where we need to go. That's our front man. That's the guy. And with Charlie, it was the same. It was that's our bass player, and especially for me as a drummer, it's really important to have that connection with a bass player. So it's just been really nice to have sort of got Charlie in and had it happen so easily as well. So yeah, it's been good.
Woman, can I just say, what a voice, man! What a voice!
Cheers, buddy.
Fucking hell! What a voice!
Don't give him a bigger ego.
No way!
Honestly, as a typical singer, I was born with big ego, so it's can't be bigger than that. No worries.
What a fantastic voice, man! Honestly, and it works so well with the song. Are you a bit of a Priest fan by any chance?
Not really.
Not really, no. Not really, no.
To be fair with you, I'm always a massive Tim Ripper Owen fan. So I was always a massive fan of Purple, Dio, Iron Maiden stuff. Yeah, that's my background, and that was the first. But these guys were my first singing teachers, if you know what I mean. That was the stuff that I really want to do. It was never about screaming, and it was all about melody and going higher as you can, if you know what I mean.
Is this your first band? Is it bands and projects?
Oh, my friend, I've done 20 bands or something like that. Yeah, I'm singing already for almost 20 years. So I started when I was 13 or 14. Plenty of different bands in Poland, from punk rock to even melodic death metal, through hard rock, heavy metal, all kind of genre, even pop for a second, to be honest.
Oh wow!
And rap, wow. Yeah. I just like rap. To. Yeah,
you've got quite a vocal range. And
Yes, yes.
Definitely got quite a vocal range if you can pull off all that.
Yeah. It was just more about experiencing new things. I'm just like to learn from a stuff that I'm doing. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense for me.
Well, a question for the what's inspired you to start? What inspired you and how did you get started?
Wow.
I think-
wanting to go on, Steve. Sorry, mate.
I think for me it was just the fuckery that was lockdown with this band. To be honest with you, like I love metal. It's everything to me. Like it, it makes you feel a way that no other music can make you feel, in my opinion. The community, the way it gets people together in a way that no other music genre gets people together in the way that metal does, again, in my opinion. But for me, with this band, I'd kind of given up on drumming at that point. But lockdown was so shit, and it was just a really, really good way of getting back out there and meeting up with Stu again, and then meeting Trent for the first time. And it was only really when I met those guys that I was like, holy shit, like I need to do this again. So shitty lockdown gave birth to something really quite amazing for us. So that's my sort of take on how we got going and why I wanted to start doing this.
But there's a little comment that just popped up in lockdown birth.
Yeah, 100%.
As much as it was a shit time or a shit period, it has like creativity anyway. Some aspects. So, how long has War?
Well, probably about 2 years, but we were singerless for about 6 months. Those technically, I suppose. So we were just writing music for about 9 months or something, and then looking for a singer. And then we actually had a singer before Roman, but he didn't work out. So we had the main lineup of the band, but we didn't have a singer for quite a while. So about 2 years kind of started.
So when you were writing the songs before you got the singer in,
Yeah.
what type of?
Well, it had to be melodic, with a decent range. Roman surpassed what we expected. Didn't really want to go down the death metal vocals route. Prefer melodic stuff, and also our music's very melodic as well. Not saying you can't have harsh vocals with melodic music, but we'd like to go down the classic route more. So yeah.
We actually, which Roman might not know this, but we actually kind of originally wanted someone that was more like Chuck from Testament. That was kind of where our head was
Remember
at.
when you were texting me in 2021, and we were having discussions about that, what kind of vocals you're looking for, and you told me like that you're looking someone like a bit trashy, and I was like, okay, but what do you mean by that? And then you mentioned Testament, and I said, okay, but Annihilator is also a great band with the melody vocals. And after that, Steve told me, Roman, but can you sing The Trooper, Iron Maiden? I said, yes, of course, mate.
I like it.
And that was it. We were sold.
and it's been quiet for like almost 10 months. I was like, what the hell? I was in the other band at the time. Yeah, but I think that you were, at the time, you found already another singer.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So
Well,
it was...
I'm glad you're getting Roman because, like I say,
I think one fair comment I think we found, and we maybe had a blueprint of what we wanted, but I don't think we really knew what we wanted because we were sort of writing these songs and doing it as originally as possible, and none of us really heard anything distinctively around vocals, listening to the songs and rehearsing, writing the songs too much. So it was kind of a matter of telling people what our influences were and maybe sort of striking it lucky a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was definitely tough. But one thing we definitely found, and what sets the boys apart from the men, if you like, is some people can sing, but some people have no creativity or ability to write anything original. So for us, what come together with Roman pretty quickly was, yeah, the guy can sing, but he can also kind of write a vocal line or write a melody that doesn't clash with the music, complements the music, understands the structure of the song and where vocal should be and where it shouldn't be. So I think for us, that was pretty much the final green tick, was sort of bringing those two elements together. I guess, yeah, a lot of guys can sing, but, you know, just so used to singing other people's songs, maybe haven't had the time to really develop that skill of being able to be musical and sort of write as a singer, if that sort of makes sense.
So, how would you describe your music and what sets you apart from other metal bands?
We lost the host.
Oh,
Lost that host.
are you kidding me?
Where are you?
So, what inspired you, Charlie, to join the band?
So many things.
Well, the stream can hear us, but obviously you guys can't.
Side pop project, isn't it?
I want to be rich
Yeah.
and famous.
Yeah. Money.
That's why I joined.
Well,
All the prostitutes. Mainly coke.
Coke metal.
Metal.
how's that? Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
Oh my god.
He's back.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
He's back.
Right, charming. Can you see it? Right. At the... Yep.
Very quietly.
Hear us, but very quietly. Try this. How about now?
That's better.
That's better, right. Sorry about that. Right, so, I'll ask again. How would you describe your music and what sets you apart from other metal bands?
We've got a
Melody.
bald ginger Australian that sets us apart from other metal bands, I think.
Does it really?
I'm gonna.
Well, actually,
Is it? Do you have to mention that he's bald? Come on.
all the time.
Leave,
All the time.
Oh, come on. I'll stick up for you, don't worry. You're paying. I'm bald as wheel. So yeah. So what themes, ideas?
Warfare, which pertains to the name of the band. So it's quite a varied array of subjects we write about, and plus there are multiple writers in the band as well, so that come across in different styles of writing. Like, for example, I've written some lyrics for the band, and one would be like third person lyrics, like writing from a soldier's perspective. And then my own lyrics as well, as in like more personal stuff. So, and that deals with like existentialism, things like that. So again, there are a wide array. Like, I think Trent's on DMT is more about abstract things. I didn't write those lyrics, so Roman could tell you more about those.
I wrote them. It's basically, I was just trying to describe my experience with psychedelics, with DMT, which I took it. And yes, basically that was the main thing. And, you know, I will answer this question really easy. Glenn Hughes answered exactly the same way with the Black Country Communion. We just take the music which we like. We're not trying to put ourselves like, oh, we're a thrash metal band. It just doesn't make sense, mate. We're just trying to be original in what we're doing. If we would like to put some thrash riff in a song, yeah, let's do it. If you want to put some harmony, yeah, let's do it. If that's going to be ballad, why not? We're not putting the limits on ourselves. It's the world is too big, and you can get so much experience from from so many genres. It just like if you want to put those limits on yourself, that's fine. It's fine, but not in this band. So if you ask us after a second album what kind of music we're playing, then we might be able to answer this a bit more clearly. But at the moment, yeah, we just rock.
Yeah.
We're just doing what we feel is the best. And if I feel that I need to scream as fuck, I'm just doing it. I don't give a shit what the other people thinks about it. Guys sometimes complaining that a bit too loud, but it's more about emotions that literally flowing through us and how we feel, and that makes us let's give us a much more of expression of who we are than what we really want to play. We can play heavy metal, death metal, thrash metal, I don't know, blues. That's the Wargrave is the mix of all of us, if you know what I mean.
I think the best way we would describe was actually at the weekend at the gig in Coventry. So Neil, one of the managers from Unearth, put the gig on and introduced us before we went on stage and said, you know, please welcome to the stage the new wave of British heavy metal, thrash, whatever the fucking kind of music these guys play, but they're fucking awesome. And I think that kind of sums us up, really. You know, we love traditional metal, we love thrash metal, we love, you know, black metal. Trent's really into his orchestral black metal stuff as well. Charlie's really into his folk music as well and stuff like that. Me, Stuart, and Roman are probably a little bit more similar. We're a lot more focused into sort of traditional metal and early Megadeth and Iron Maiden are, in my opinion, the best band in the world. Sorry, Trent.
And Deep Purple, you forgot to mention Deep Purple, right?
Deep Purple. So we take influence from
a wide range, basically.
Absolutely, and even like 80s pop music and stuff as well. You know, we take influence from that, and there's certain melodies or rhythms and stuff that you can find in different types of music that can be translated into, you know, into the music that you love. But ultimately, we just write what we want to write, and if it feels right in the room, we're gonna go with it. We try not to typecast ourselves. You know, we just want to do what we like and what we think sounds good, and hopefully people agree, and hopefully people like our music going forward.
I like it. Very good answer. It's still guys are enjoying it. You're not enjoying it, especially when you're playing live. You're not enjoying it, and the audience will pick up on that. Totally get that. What is your songwriting process? What influence?
Well, at this moment in time, I've written quite a large amount of the material so far. And for me, normally I'd write music at home and then make a basic structure out of it and then show it to the band, and then we'd work on it in rehearsal and turn it into a full song. So I write the music first, and if I write the lyrics, which I don't do as much these days, because Roman writes a lot of lyrics, Steve writes lyrics now as well. But I do the music first, and then fit the lyrics into the melody after. Everything's based around, usually starts with one riff, and then finding a natural feeling to go into the next riff, making sure that's good enough, and then thinking about structure. So yeah, that's how I work.
That's how you work. Well, anyone else?
For example, first trying to find a melody for a song. For example, that's happened with VMT. I get the music, and the first thing what I was looking for was the melody, not the lyrics. Lyrics just coming like that. If you've got a good melody, you just need to add some words, put them in the order, just make it work and make to have a sense. And that's it. It's gonna sound a bit weird, but that's how I'm working, and and I think it works quite well, because every time when I'm bringing some new staff to the rehearsal, and I'm showing that to guys, so they are like, okay, spot on, Mike, perfect, and it's just a natural way for me to write, and I just see that Stu doing exactly the same, which is great. So we've got the same kind of a connection of how we want to work.
Yeah, I echo that. I think for me, it's been really interesting. I've never written music for clean vocals before in my life, based on the sort of stuff I'm more used to or my background. So the song you heard at the start, DMT, was the first song I really sat down to write, knowing I had to leave open space and leave a blank canvas for big clean vocals. So it was a pretty cool milestone for me personally, that I could kind of come up with something that was still cool and melodic and sort of my color and flavor of things, but left the choruses wide open, left the verses wide open for Roman to sort of do his thing. And I think for me, that's generally the way I'll sort of continue to approach bringing songs to the room as well, much like Stuart, to sort of work something out at home and then bring it to the room and sort of arrange it in a way that works and makes sense. So it's a pretty cool experience for me. It's definitely something I like listening back on, sort of how I contribute anyway.
Excellent. And do you write in a room, like, sort of together, or do you kind of like do it over comms, sort of thing, like how we're doing now? Or because a lot of bands now just kind of just send each other's music, don't they? As opposed to jam in an entire group.
So Stuart or Trent will sometimes record a basic demo and pop it on the band chat, just to give us an idea of what they've got going on in their heads. So I'll normally take that into my little practice room at home and start coming up with ideas for what I'm going to play on the drums to it. And then I also start thinking about structure, process of the songs as well. And, you know, should we double up a riff, or maybe that needs to be extended? Maybe that riff needs to be slightly shorter. Maybe that riff needs to be in a different part of the song, just so that we've all got a rough idea. So when we do go into the rehearsal room, so we're actually back in the rehearsal room tomorrow night to start writing some new material. We've all got a basic fundamental of what we're looking at. And then really we start the proper writing process when we're in the practice room together. So we'll jam on the riffs that have been written. And again, it's all about the feel for us. So if something doesn't feel right, we'll change it. If something, you know, if we end up feeling like, oh, that riff should be played longer, we'll extend it. If it doesn't fit right in that position when we're all playing together, then we'll remove that riff and put it somewhere else in the song. Or so it's quite an organic way of us doing things. I think also comes across live with when we're playing the songs, the songs really flow, or we at least feel the songs really flow with the structure. Makes it a bit easier for the audience to listen to as well.
See, I like that. I like it when bands get together, record together. Do you know what I mean? Because with the age of technology, people's now just record in their own personal space and send it to one each other. So to see bands getting together and recording it, and like I say, that's when you find out it doesn't work, or it does work, or you say you need to change this and change that. So yeah, I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
You know, we're quite lucky as well, because we do have a vocalist like Roman. So, you know, we'll be writing and he'll be sitting on the chair or something, and we'll just think he's looking at his phone, and we'll be like, what are you doing? And then the next thing, he'll jump up and grab the mic and just start singing a melody over what we're playing, just to get a structure. And it's really cool to see that. I've not worked with a vocalist that does that before. So it's really, really cool. Very, very quickly you start seeing this song being born out of just, you know, a riff idea from Stu or a riff idea from Trent, and then the drums go on top, and Charlie's been very, very quick at picking up the tune, so he'll start putting his bass line in, and then Roman will start singing a melody over the top, and all of a sudden you've got the, you know, from that little seed of a riff to, you know, it's starting to sprout into a song actually quite quickly. So
you can hear a scratch of a song already. Yeah, that's quite amazing, I have to say. It's happened in the last rehearsal.
When it comes to lyric wise, and do you all contribute lyrics, or is that just yourself, woman?
I'm fully open to someone else's lyrics, but I'm like, I start liking to write the lyrics, but at the moment it's like 50-50. So I wrote 2 or 3 lyrics. I'm not sure. 3.
He's a typical vocalist.
Yeah. So
You know?
but so basically, if someone bringing me melody like Stu done with the song War Graves, he brought the melody, he brought the lyrics, he shows me that, and I just add a little bit of myself to it. Bang. Next rehearsal, the song was ready, and that's I'm open, and guys are open for me to write the stuff, and because sometimes I'm writing especially with DMT. I remember I wrote the melody, I wrote the structure was ready, and I said to myself, "Fucking hell, man, what have you done to yourself? This melody is so hard to sing, and I have to like rehearsal it again and again to just get used to it." How that's been wrote, and that's what happening. That's what happened, and we're doing this all the time. So I have absolutely no problem with someone else's lyrics. If it's good, let's do it. We're a band. We're not solo project. So
Sweet.
Yeah. At the moment, like I've written like half the lyrics. Roman's written half the lyrics. Steve's written a song as well now, lyrics. So yeah, it's like 50-50 at the moment, pretty much.
So at the minute we've only got 2 songs from you, which is Discovering My Truth and System. I take it we've got more in the works. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've so obviously the live show is a bit longer than just 2 songs.
I was kind of hoping it was more than just the 2 songs.
We've got our set's about 6 songs long at the moment, obviously because we've had some lineup changes, obviously getting Roman in as a singer, getting Charlie in again as sort of the new bass player. So we've had a couple of bass players in the past, so that's kind of scuppered our progress a little bit, and we don't want to continue writing without a full lineup. You know, we want to be solid, but we needed to get some music out there because people were asking us from quite early on in our sort of life of the band, can I hear some music? So we got System and Discovering My Truth done so that we could get some music out there for people to listen to. But we've got other songs that obviously we play live, which hopefully will be recording. And like I said, tomorrow we're back in the rehearsal room and we start writing some brand new, fresh material from tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be back in the recording studio soon, and we'll have our debut EP ready to go at some point later on in the year.
Is the EP, is it going to be 4 fresh new songs, or will Discovering My Truth and System be on there?
That'll be 4 or 5 new ones, isn't it?
All fresh. We're looking at about 5 songs. 5 fresh tracks.
Nice. And can we expect any possible date release for that?
We're kind of in the middle of, so we're actually extremely busy with live gigs at the moment, which is not a bad place to be. And we're kind of looking at each other now when we meet up going, shit, when are we actually going to fit this recording in? I think we're overbooking ourselves on the live front at the moment, but hopefully we're hoping no later than November.
So are these songs that they're not like released like on a digital platform? Are they being played live though? Are they? So people have heard them. Just let us know.
Some of them there probably will be at least 2 brand new fresh tracks that no one's heard yet.
There's some live recordings on YouTube of these tracks as well on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so people can hear it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Looking forward to hearing the new stuff. Very interested. So, can you tell us what have you gone through, like, any kind of challenges or obstacles that you may have faced as a metal band, and how have you overcome them if you have?
Bass player.
Bloody bass players.
Charlie's our fourth bass player. I
Thanks, player.
don't think he knows that, but no, it's for no real root cause reason or anything. But we just had a few, personal issues on the bass players sort of side of their lives that couldn't have them working with us going forward, and sort of was what it was. We had a guy fill in for us from a band called Sacrium, which is worth a fair shout out. His name's Sonny. He did us a solid, covered our ass for one of the gigs in pretty short notice. So it was just a bit of turbulence finding the right person, but we've definitely got that sort of concreted in now.
And then also, we've had band members go away for fairly long periods of time as well. So Trent recently went back to Australia to see his family for the first time in like 4 years. So we had quite a big bit of time out, which didn't stop us. We carried on practicing and we carried on writing, but that was a bit weird because we were having to send Trent recordings of stuff so that he could listen, and then obviously the time difference and stuff made it quite awkward. But the bass player and the member situation with the bass player has really been the sort of the biggest sort of stumbling block, to be honest with you. But I mean, from I think we've been quite lucky actually, because we're still a relatively young band, and we've kind of achieved quite a lot in a short space of time. So we headlined Fallout Festival, which we put on ourselves back in February. It was our third gig and it was sold out. We had some fantastic bands on there. So our mates from the London Metal Coalition. So we had Thrasher Wolf on that gig. We had our good mates Halberd on that gig. We had Open Sight on that gig. We had Fracture Points. We had some fairly big names in the London underground metal scene playing that show, and it was our third one that we headlined. And like I said, between all the bands, we completely sold the venue out. And it's so we've achieved quite a lot. Obviously, we've signed with Unearthed Music Management as well, which a lot of people said we wouldn't be able to do. We wouldn't be able to achieve that at the early stage that we're in. But for some reason, the name seems to be getting out there a bit and seems to be attracting some attention, like from yourself, Steve. It's we didn't speak to you, we hadn't reached out to you before, and all of a sudden I find a tag on the old Instagram saying that you're going to be featuring us on your channel, and it was like, oh my god, it's I think we've been quite lucky in a way that the name's getting out there. We're really working really hard to push this band as far as we can, but we've got a really good support network around us with our mates and the other bands we know, the London Metal Coalition, Unearthed Management. We've just been in the right place at the right time so far, so hopefully we can continue with that growth and really push forward.
Yeah, I mean, I've found basically I've done this since I was like at the age of 16. I've always just gone out my way to try and find new bands. I'm always looking for a new band, and basically that's what I do through Instagram. I just kind of just scroll through Instagram, social medias, Spotify, YouTube. What's new? What can I find? And that's basically how I come across yourselves. A lot of the times as well, it's through gigs that I've come across. Like I say, I do follow Unearthed Management on Instagram, so I do have a scroll through their pages from time to time and see who was on their list. So yeah, I'm always constantly on the lookout for new bands. Like I say, I've done it since I was 16, and I continue to do it now because I just, like you said it before, I absolutely love metal. You know what I mean? I've loved it from a very early age. You will not find a more loyal and passionate fan base than when it comes to metal. Once you're addicted to metal, that's it. You're in it for life. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things. Doesn't matter what genre of metal that you're in, because obviously you've got all these subgenres in metal. But it doesn't matter what you're in, what metal you're into. it's like one big massive family, and it's not just like you're not just like located to one country. It's worldwide. Do you know what I mean? It's a massive worldwide. So,
Absolutely great job, by the way.
sorry, what was that?
I'm just saying, this is absolutely amazing what you're doing for the genre, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I really appreciate it, because lots of people just don't give a fuck anymore. They
Wait.
just stick to Iron Maiden, Metallica, and that's it. And
I've said
digging.
Said this from day
Until
one.
you'll find something what is interesting for you. So
said this from day one when we started this. Said this from day one when we started this channel. We can't just rely, like you say, on Iron Maiden and Metallica. These bands are not going to be around forever. As much as I absolutely love Iron Maiden and Metallica, Megadeth, do you know what I mean? We've always seen it with Slayer. They've just retired. When these bands are not going to be around forever, and so we need the bands like yourselves, and the underground bands that to kind of step up. They need to be given a shot, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely love Bloodstock Festival for what they do with the metal to the masses, because they're always willing to give smaller bands a shot. And it's not like they're just handing it out. You've got to fight for it. You've got to work for it. Do you know what I mean? Which I do believe you guys are in metal to the masses. Is that right?
Yeah, so we were in the first round. It was our second ever. It was only our second gig, and we didn't have a bass player. So again, our friend Sonny from Secrium stepped in, and that was the gig he helped us out in. So we were in no illusion that we were going to go through. It was still very, very early days for us, a band. I guess like every band, when you don't go through, you're always going to feel a little bit robbed, right? So because you care so much about the band you're in, and you love the music, and you're always going to think that it's the best. You're the best band in the world, and your music's better than everybody else's, and so you're always going to feel a little bit hard done by, I think, with that. But it is great, and it is great to see the bands get given a chance to go through that. I do think the industry, obviously this is just a personal opinion, but I do think the industry could do more. I think they do rely too much on the older generation of bands,
especially Download Festival, Festival.
Yeah, to keep coming back and do their thing. And I think America's very good and has kind of got the mixture right. They're very well set up over there for musicians. They have the musicians grant. Their country is set up for touring. You know, I think we've got a long way to go in the UK. We're very, very spoiled as well with the big bands that we do have coming through here. So it takes a special kind of person to get up at the weekend and go to pubs and go and see their local bands and go and see those underground bands. Because to be honest with you, the music that's out there at the moment in the underground, I mean, the quality of bands out there at the moment is ridiculous. The quality of music that you can see for 5, 6, 7, 8 quid. I mean, most people would spend 25, 30, 35 quid to go to, you know, big arenas, and they're not seeing that same level of music at the moment from these bigger bands. I mean, I don't know if you heard the unedited Metallica audio from Download versus the heavily edited Metallica audio from Download.
I'll be honest with you, I have not heard it.
Oh, it's horrendous. I mean,
I was there, and I was thinking when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, it's fine. And I saw this video, and I was like, what the fuck just happened there? And how drunk I was. I said, it's great. Yeah, I know what you mean, and I know what you're talking about. True.
But we also know that it takes a lot of money to get metal bands up and running. You know, it's record labels. It costs them a lot of money to invest in metal bands to really push them. So, of course, they're gonna keep going with the old guard because they're guaranteed. They're guaranteed those sales. They're guaranteed those album sales. They're guaranteed those ticket sales. But I do think we could do a lot better in this country with getting the next generation of metal bands through and giving them that shot, like you said, giving them that chance and getting them on that stage. But you've also got to work for it. You know, we're under no illusion that we have to work hard for this, and we have to push. And that's that's what we're trying to do at the moment. That's why we're booking as many gigs as we can. It's why we don't really care if we play to 500 people or 15 people. We're going to put on the same quality of a show however many people turn up, because we want those fans. We want people to like what we're doing. We want people to follow us and to appreciate the work and the effort that we put into our music. And we all wear our heart on our sleeves with what we're doing. And I think that goes for every single metal band at the moment, in the underground especially. It's a lot of hard work, but there are some absolutely fantastic bands out there at the moment.
Right there, you hit the nail in the coffin straight away when you said it doesn't matter if you're playing in a crowd of 500 or just a small group of 5 to 10. Do you know what I mean? So long as you make at least one fan from one of them show, your job's done. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All it takes is just one person to make a good impression on one person. That person goes away happy as Larry, and then he introduced, yeah, I saw Wargrave the other night, I heard these, and then that's pretty much how it goes, word of mouth. So yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Very well said.
Yeah, we're going to be going over to Holland next year as well in March.
Nice.
I think it's March, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, shit. What am I meant to say? I don't even know that. Sorry.
No, we're going over. Yeah, so we're doing a week-long run, split over two long weekends. So we're going over to Holland to play with some good friends of ours out there, and then we're coming back to the UK and continuing the second half of that tour in the UK. So that's in March next year, I believe. We're doing that. But we've got some really, really, really big shows coming up anyway. So we've got we're playing a smaller gig in beginning of August, just to keep the cobweb off and to keep the appearances up in London at Hope and Anchor. And then we've got Coalition Fest on the 2nd of September, which is a big 2-day festival full of all the best underground London metal bands, which are part of the London Metal Coalition, which we're part of. So that's going to be huge. And Red Method are headlining that festival. And then you've got bands like Imperium are playing it. Obviously, we're playing it. You've got the 500 are headlining the Sunday. So you've got some pretty big names on there. Our good mates in Halberd are on that show as well.
Yeah, I do believe he's currently in chat from Halberd.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But
Stealing our thunder case.
Hoban, also, there's a couple of promoters that's in chat as well. We're hoping to get you up to the tune Our Neck of the Woods sometime as well.
Yeah, we'd love that.
That'd be wicked, man.
Yourselves and I would love yourselves and Thrasher Wolf, even Buried by My Heartache as well, because like I say, everyone that I've met so far from the Unearthed label are just absolute gems. So yeah, I would love to get you all personally up here. I think that'll be a cracking time. So moving on, what can where am I up to? I think we're kind of pretty much answers. How do you approach live performances, and what do you hope to accomplish through your shows?
We approach it with a shot of Jaeger before we go on stage, and then well, some of the lads do. Some of the lads do.
I was going to say I was talking with Stu before. He doesn't drink.
No, that's right.
We drink enough for him. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That's why we need to drink.
Also, you guys pick up the slack for Stu.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think there's anything in particular we really try and orchestrate with the live performances too much. I think as a band, we always said we'd let the music speak for itself. I think one of the early questions you had, Steve, was what maybe differentiates us from other bands. For us, we really, really concentrate on the song as a whole and the songwriting process, and having memorable elements, melodic elements to the songs as much as possible. So, rather than, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but for us, we kind of we fall back on being less of a kind of headbanging band and more of a band someone might actually really remember and go and put on when they get home, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to do something a little bit more original, a little bit more classic, so it's a bit more memorable. So I think all of that together from a live point of view, we just play as sharp as we can and just try and translate the music as best we can live, just to sort of be as memorable as possible from a sonic perspective.
On our second gig, I remember one of the
Oh, Charlie's disappeared.
who was over there as well. They said this bloke said to us that we behave on the stage like we are playing a massive gig for like 1,000 people, that we're moving. I'm talking to them, they responding. I'm trying to drag them to the show, and he said, like, you didn't expect that from the band who's playing their second show. And he was like, fucking hell, guys, how are you doing this? And I just said, that's how we're approaching the shows. Like Steve said before, it doesn't matter if it's 5 guys or 5,000 guys. We're always giving 200% to make sure that we've done our best. That's our attitude. That's how we're approaching the stuff.
And we have to as well, because the bands that we're, the bands that we are playing with, the bands on Unearth, the bands in the LMC, they push us as well. We see the performances that they're putting on, makes us want to play better as well. But ultimately, we want people to be able to watch us live, have a great night, go home, put the music on and go, holy shit, that sounds exactly like it sounded at the venue. So we really try to concentrate on the musicality of what we're doing and our performance in delivering a really clean performance. But we also rock out and we also have a good time. And I think the main thing with our stage performance is that we have a laugh. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So Roman will come over to me and he'll tell me a joke or something when we're playing, or Trent will come over and start pulling some stupid faces or something, So we have a laugh when we're playing as well. That's one of the reasons why I love Anthrax live so much, because they all just have a really, really good laugh on stage. And that makes them, for me, stand out. Their live shows stand out from other bands that just sort of go on and take themselves way too seriously. So we definitely like to have a laugh, but we really want the music to translate from the record to the stage, back to the record again when the listener gets home.
Nice. Is everything all right there, Charlie? Your camera seems to be a bit hiccupy. I think we may have lost. I think we've lost Charlie.
Typical bass player.
Oh!
I have to say that.
It's always the bass. It's always the bass player that gets the shit.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
There we can hear. Is everything all right there, Chuck?
My internet just cut out. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Just close those 50 tabs down, Charlie. It might help, yeah.
I was going to say you're awfully quiet. Beginning to worry, and I can just see your camera flicking on and on.
Sit in the back. No one notices him. No, no, I'm joking.
Oh, Joey. Before we get on to the real questions from the viewers, my last one. So, lastly, are there any other metal bands or musicians that you're currently listening to or inspired by?
I gotta say, one particular album's blown me absolutely away lately, and it's been on the harder side of things. But there's a band called Soilwork, and you have to forgive me because I don't really remember the actual album name. But Soilwork came out with a release. I think it was either early this year or last year. And if I can find or if I can even pronounce the album name, it's called Overgiven Huden or something like this, 2022. So it was last year. But that album for me, I just have been spinning ever since. It's a seriously cool mix of huge, big chorus melodies, death metal, thrash metal, like melodic death in there, and it's been blowing me away a fair bit. It's taken a fair bit of influence from that as a personal one, for sure.
Nice, nice. Charlie, since you've been rather quiet, what about yourself?
What I've been listening to recently.
Well, what yeah, like so, music, anything like musicians that you might be inspired by, or what you're currently listening to.
Yeah, I've sort of gone back to like Tesseract and Meshuggah a lot recently. And yeah, today for some reason, Killswitch Engage, like the the end of Heartache and everything. But yeah, a bit of a mix, and yeah, kind of playing with these guys. I know, yeah, driving all over the country with Steve the other day. Yeah, he showed me a lot of Motorhead and yeah, classic Maiden stuff that I hadn't really got into but before. So yeah, all sorts really.
When you say classic Maiden, how far back are you going? Paul Diano days.
We're going back to the beginning, Clive Burr era Maiden.
Because I absolutely love Paul Diano on the vocals. I do believe he's coming to Newcastle very soon to do some solo stuff. Hopefully, he'll play some of them classic Maiden hits. Definitely going to be taking a couple of me vinyls down just to see if I can get signed by him. But Paul Diano is, as much as I love Bruce Dickinson, the Paul Diano era is my favourite Maiden era.
I have the privilege of
That's a lot.
met Paul Diana like in 2013 or 14 in Krakow in Poland.
Yeah, can he?
He's such a sweet bloke, mate. He's absolutely amazing guy.
He had an operation recently as well on his legs, didn't he?
Yeah.
I do believe he has. Yes. Like I say, I think he's just playing at like a little Trillions, which is our like our local rock bar here in Newcastle. I believe that's why he's playing. So looking forward to hopefully getting to chill with Paul Diano.
Yeah, he's playing at the Cart and Horses in London, which will be special considering.
Cart and Horses, isn't that where Maiden pretty much started?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
We played there not long ago.
I was just about to say, is that place still standing?
It is actually a really good venue. The sound in there is incredible. It's a really good venue. Really, really good venue.
Time to time you can meet the Steve Harris over there. You just pop in.
Nice. Any other bands or you're inspired by or musicians?
Well, I'm inspired by anything that's got really good melody, and metal tends to be the perfect vehicle to deliver the aggression but in a melodic way. You know what I mean? So, like Jason Becker is one of my favourite guitar players. I also love the Beatles and like early rock and roll like Holly Holly. Lately, I've been listening to an old Northern Irish band called Therapy. Their early stuff. I don't know if you know them, but they're pretty good.
I'm familiar with them. Not like a band that I would like go to. Do you know what I mean? Not my first band that I would go to, but I know a little bit of them.
They're not extremely heavy or nothing, but the early stuff's quite interesting. So that's what I've been listening to recently.
Nice. And what about yourself, Steve?
On Megadeth.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much take influences from lots of different music and lots of different drummers. Obviously, Iron Maiden are my biggest influence, 100%. I think Clive Burr is still probably one of the most underrated drummers. Everyone always, by default, goes to Nico when you talk about Maiden, and I think that's quite sad because the drumming on the first 3 Maiden albums is absolutely incredible, and he deserves a lot more credit, I think, than what he gets. Gar Samuelson from Megadeth, so Megadeth's drummer on the first 2 albums as well. Just the jazz influence that he puts into metal, and I think that's what really made Megadeth stand out over Metallica for me, was those first 2 albums and the writing and the groove that he puts in there. Nick Menza, again, Megadeth, one of the biggest influences on me, and I think I take, not that I steal a lot of his ideas, but there's a lot of my drumming that I pull from stuff that I've sort of learned from learning how to play Megadeth tracks from over the years. So, but then I like a lot of blues as well. I really like Gary Moore. I think he's an amazing songwriter. I like Thin Lizzy, like Deep Purple. At the moment, though, really, I've just been listening to a lot of sort of new bands that are coming through, and seeing what other guys are doing in that's in our sort of situation and the sort of same level as us, to see where their heads at and what they're writing and what they're coming up with. So that's been quite interesting.
So Steve,
Recently.
I'll just say, you just reminded me, I've been listening to Thrasher Wolf quite a bit now, last few weeks, last couple of days especially. They've got some really good songs. Sorry, just wanted to say.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've
Like,
listened to much by like from the Newcastle scene, but just to give you a couple of bands that you might want to check out, you've got Cast and Tefra, Boz, the Vessel, or if you like just like a two-man drum and bass, but the sound is absolutely fantastic. Trendkill, Killanova, especially if you like a thrash, Killanova definitely. Deathcore, like I say,
Yeah,
I've mentioned, Cast and
it's
Tefra.
like the live stream gig that you put out the other weeks there. I really enjoyed watching that. You know, it was
Thank you.
really, really good idea, and it seemed like a really good night, and you had a good turnout, and the sound was good, and yeah, the music was really good. So yeah, it's definitely something going on in the underground scene at the moment. The weekend that we just did, obviously, Thrasher Wolf absolutely killed it. We played with another band called Regicide from Essex that we hadn't played with before, and I have to say, like, more of like got a real sort of groove metal vibe to them, and I have to say I was really, really blown away by those guys. They were really good. If you haven't heard of them, I'd definitely recommend giving them a check out, because they were very, very good. And then obviously we were on the bill for Must Kill EP launch in Luton, with King Abyss as well. So again, another two really good bands. So there's a lot going on in the underground scene at the moment.
Most definitely.
Regicide have got a song called Dying to Be Like, and it's about social media. I thought that was really cool.
I have heard of Regicide. I do believe we featured them on this channel. I do think it was back in March, maybe it was around April time. Maybe it was around the same time as yourselves for the first work. But yeah, I absolutely love that song. To be fair, Stu, it's absolutely fantastic. But that gig that you mentioned that we're put on, I'm hoping to do more, and I need to mention this, because I could not do those gigs without two people. Dak Imogen, because he helps with all the camera work, who was an absolute ledge when it comes to the camera work, and the 13th Hour Design. He's the one who pretty much got me into the whole starting gigs. So that was our very debut show. Myself and all my mods, we are Get Heavy UK. That's going to be like our promotion going forward. Hoping to do more with the recording side, the streaming of live gigs, especially because for a lot of viewers who watch, I've got a few people from overseas, Germany, Holland, a few in America. They can't get over here to see you guys play live, and from what we've shown them, they've really enjoyed what I've showed them, so they don't get that chance to see us play. So it's really it's a way to, yeah guys, you can't watch it in person, but you can watch it here on the stream.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a way to, it's a way of getting your names out there, as well as, you know, just having it, like you say, it was our debut show. It was a cracking night. We had a few technical issues, of course, with cameras. I believe you pointed guitar issues out for us, Steve. Thank you.
I didn't hear him. He was playing rhythm, and I was like, "Someone playing guitars." Oh, I've got to tell him. The musician never switches off.
But otherwise, we absolutely had an absolute cracking night. And our next show is August, which is Get Heavy Fest, which is yeah there we go. I'm wearing the hoodie for, which my boys Cass and Tefra are headlining, and I'm hoping to do that once a year. And that, like I say, that's when I would love to get you guys up here for that sometime.
Yeah, we'd love to come up to the tune, 100%.
To the tune.
To that tune. We're there, mate. We're there, mate.
I love it. So that's pretty much the end of. That's like I say, it's not just me. It's like I say, it's 13th Hour and Dark Imogen. Those guys as well. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely phenomenal with the help that those two have given me. Dak's been with me pretty much since I started the whole music scene. 13th Hour has been with me for a year, and he's the bass player in Cass and Tefra. as well. And I mean, I kind of couldn't have done this without either of them two absolute legends. So we're pretty much coming to the end of my questions, and we're gonna get to the real stuff now. The viewers. What do the viewers want to know? So while we wait for people to start typing.
Be kind, please. Be
What?
nice to us.
Oh, these are the interesting questions that come through. But while we wait for people to type, just a little. What's your thoughts going forward on EPs and albums? Like, because how many times do you see people don't really seem to be releasing albums anymore? They're just going forward with an EP, a couple of songs here and there.
Yeah, we've had this discussion recently on whether to do a full album or whether to do an EP, and we kind of come to the conclusion that doing an EP just gives us more scope to have more releases throughout the year, rather than putting all our eggs in one basket. We can do five-track EP, release that, have those 5 tracks out there for everyone to enjoy, and then 6-7 months later we can do another 5-track EP, have those come out, so we can keep it more regular. And that's kind of, I think that's kind of where our head's at with that question. I'd say.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we've got a couple of questions from the viewers now. We've got 2 for the same, and I didn't think this would come for Londoners, but it has. Greg's order. What's your Greg's order?
Well, me and Charlie stopped off at Greg's on the way to Cov on Sunday, and I ordered a sausage, bean, and cheese slice, and a steak bake, and
Chicken slice. I've had too
Yeah.
many of.
Yeah, and I bought some donuts as well.
Nice. Anyone else?
Chicken slice all the way.
Chicken slice all the way. You're being very quiet on the Greg's order, woman.
I don't really know what this is all about.
What the fuck is Greg's?
Exactly.
I think me and you are the same, Roman, as non-British folk. I don't think we're too knowledgeable on this topic. That's for sure.
Yeah. The thing is, sometimes they're just chatting some jokes, and I'm like, "What? Are you serious?" All right.
So we've got an interesting question from Splitty. How did you all end up near London? Because obviously we've got an Australian and we've got a Polish gentleman. So how did you all end up in London?
So I came here to steal the job. It's probably the typical Polish immigrant. I'm saying, it's job and hopefully benefits, and I'm gonna apply probably tomorrow or Friday. And they don't give a fuck.
I love it. I admire the honesty.
That was my main goal, and like always, something else happened. Yeah, I basically moved to London like 5-6 years ago. I've got like typical Polish person. I've got a family here, but we're all working, so no worries, please. And yeah, it was just musically I achieved quite a lot in my country, and over there I just felt like I'm start banging my head to the brick wall. And it was all about money, of course, and stuff like that. So I just moved here, worked my ass for a few years really hard, try to learn the language, find a band, and yeah, that's how I end up in London in Wargrave. That's
Nice one.
Yeah, for me, just really quickly, I moved over in 2016. And probably the only reason I'm South London is because my best friend who was here at the time used to work for Flight Centre at a branch on the Putney High Street. We just naturally moved somewhere close to where she was needing to go to work because I always worked remotely. So purely by chance, she worked there that I ended up South London, to be fair. So pretty coincidental.
I take it, yeah, yourself, Stu, Charlie, and Steve. You born and raised in London.
Well, my mum and dad decided to get together one night, and and then I was born in
Conceived.
South London, where they're from. So
I thought you were gonna. I thought you.
that's how I got here.
I thought you were gonna go into more detail there. I done saved. That's the 18 plus stream on OnlyFans. That's where we'll find out more about this Taiwanese story.
Yeah, no, I was actually born in Scotland, and my dad was Irish, so I'm not English technically at all. But I've lived there ever since I was a kid, so they moved, I think, from Scotland when I was like 1 or 2 or something. But I'm actually Scottish.
Technically Scotter.
So
Hey, what were you?
Economic migrant.
What about yourself, Charlie?
John Martin. Yeah, just born and raised outside of South London, really. But yeah, just lived there my whole life, other than moving to Brighton and back, and yeah, now just living in South East London. So yeah, not hugely interested. I've got a French dad. If that changes.
You didn't tell us that. We wouldn't let you.
Oh, here we go. Started.
I can't speak French, that's my point.
Started something now. So
Actually, sorry, man. Your second name's Gossett, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gossett.
So yeah, that's my Gossett, yeah.
Sorry.
That's it.
there we go. Learning something new about each other, huh? I hate this question because I'm probably gonna lose. But favorite Killswitch singers?
Yes,
I'm
Jesse for me.
Jesse. Who said Jesse? Yes, you legend. Come on,
100%.
give me more Jessies.
No comment.
Howard Jones.
Oh, exactly. No comment. I just after you've said it, too late. Doesn't matter. It's out there in the open. Everyone knows. But yeah, Curtains and Rose are keeping tally because him and his partner are Howard fans. Myself being a personal Jesse fan. My partner, who was a Howard fan, as she's just mentioned in the chat. So
I unfortunately never got into Killswitch, so I can't comment on that one.
wow, I think that you're the first person I've come across who doesn't like Killswitch, or I've never really getting into them.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like them.
You're the second one. All right, fair enough.
I saw them
Too
support
screamy.
Iron Maiden at the O2 a little while ago, and they were good live. I have to say, I enjoyed watching them live, but they're not a band I would stick a record on.
Fair enough. Charlie, you said you were listening to Killswitch End of Heartache before. I'm going to assume Howard for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I had a feeling. And what about yourself, woman?
Ronnie James Dio.
It's completely opposite.
Absolutely never listened to Killswitch, so I don't have a opinion. But honestly, Ronnie James Dio, Glenn Hughes, David Coverdale. Yeah.
There we go.
I think we've probably just lost about 25 viewers and followers from our Instagram with these answers.
You can blame immigrants like always.
Yeah.
No worries. That's
Oh,
fine.
so-
Unfortunately, maybe I need to get more into it. I've never listened to them before.
Fair enough.
I don't have opinion.
Fair enough. I think we're pretty tied on this one, to be honest with you. I think we've got three.
1-1, isn't it?
Well, just for tonight anyway. We've got 3 for Jesse and 3 for Howard in this chat tonight. So I think we're pretty tied.
I would say Jesse as well. I would say.
Oh, go on, son. Yes.
Yes,
Howard,
yes.
Howard.
Yes. In your face.
Jesse. I remember the first time I heard him in 1970. What a gig, man! Absolutely, he nailed it. Every single. Such a great.
I think he was just being born then.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
that was his father. I have no clue.
Maybe it could have been Jesse Junior.
Yeah, Jesse. Oh, Jesse Senior.
So, question from 34. What's your most random experience while playing on stage?
my denture flying out on backing vocals.
That's metal as fuck right there. Did it fly out and hit somebody in the face? Or
I don't know. I never found it.
so you had to get a new one.
Yeah.
Got swallowed.
That's definitely a new one on me. Anyone else? Apart from, can you top the denture?
Oh my gosh! Can you repeat
We
the
had
question? Sam?
we had so one of our early gigs
Oh,
when we
sorry.
were younger, we used to do a cover of Wrathchild, and one of my friend's brothers decided that he was gonna run on stage. In fact, it was your brother, Stu, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He ran on stage wearing an Eddie mask and stage dived, and no one caught him.
He was about 18 stone at the time as
Yeah.
well.
That is a big dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And we got it on camera as well because we had the gig filmed. So me and Stu enjoyed rewinding that moment quite a few times.
Just randomly runs up the back of the stage and jumps off.
Wearing a Peace of Mind Eddie mask while we're playing Wrathchild.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my god.
Roman, if you I think you were trying. What was the question again? What's your most random experience while playing on stage?
Most random experience. Oh my gosh. That's a good one. I remember once I almost passed out on stage. Literally. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Just heat exhaustion, or were you on some
I was just treated myself really bad, you know. I was just finished the school, and it was the summertime when I was in the band already, and we're just playing gig after gig after gig after gig, and every gig ended up on some kind of after party. So it was like third or fourth gig, quite a big stage, and it was like, I can't do it anymore. And we have to stop the gig for like 2-3 minutes. The guys were asking me like, what's going on, Roman? And I said, I need a break. That kind of things happen. Yeah, but apart of that,
any other random experiences before we get one more question in?
Nothing comes to mind, really. Nothing random I can think of.
So one more. Got time for one more question. Howie, who's making a good one, folks? Who's gonna give a banger of a question? One more. Oh wait, I think I've just I missed one from Happy Thrash. I'd like Steve to go into more detail on his birth, please.
In case you're a dirty bastard.
I think that's a pretty good one to end on, I feel. So, Steve, we kind of take it over to you.
section, yeah?
Tell
Tell everyone that we've got a Pornhub as well. So
Yeah, well, don't, you'll get Casey too excited if you tell him that.
You've got all our faces now, so you can do the deep fake thing.
Yeah, that's
just use AI. Oh, dears me.
mate, that shit scares me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dear me. Is there any other questions before we end, folks? Sorry, I'm buckled by that question. To be fair, he might tell you in private time. Happy Thrash. When it's just used to.
Yeah, that's it. You've got my number.
Oh, no, can.
Recorded.
Oh, dear me. So last one. How long did it take Trent to grow his hair?
It's a good question, actually. I don't know about you guys, but if you're ginger in Australia, your life is really shit during school. I'll tell you that much. Like, it's seriously, it's like a height of bullying and all the rest of it. In Europe, it seems like it's just less. It's more of a novelty. It's not as bad. But we copped it in Australia as gingers, man. And not only am I ginger, I have really curly hair as well. So I shaved my head in year 3 in primary school. So I never grew any kind of hairstyle, any kind of haircut since I was, just over what, I guess, sort of 10, 11 years old. And then more to my glory, when I hit year 10, year 11, so 15, 16, I started receding really badly as well. I've got great genes from my dad. So ever since school, I've been a bald-headed dude trying to grow a beard. So until lockdown, I let this go, and now you see what's in front of you. So that was my hair story.
Switched around.
That was a really deep way to end this,
It
mate.
was right.
Yeah.
The beard has meaning, man.
Carl,
I feel really bad now for all the ginger jokes.
I celebrated now. That was hilarious.
That's the most random experience whilst playing live on stage. The most recent one was at Fallout Fest when Roman was introducing the band members.
Oh, yeah,
and
I feel so bad about this right now.
And the whole crowd randomly just started chanting "Ginger cunt" when Roman started to introduce Trent. The whole crowd, "Ginger cunt, ginger cunt."
No, that was my fault because I said that's our private Viking. We calling him a ginger cunt, and that was it. Ginger cunt, ginger cunt.
Brilliant.
Fucking hell.
oh dear me, that's why it's called Get Heavy for. We've got to answer these hard personal questions.
I know, right?
We leave till the end.
We're not coming back on here again.
Oh, it's the one and only time that you'll ever see Wargrave on Get Heavy. Jesus Christ. Oh.
That's the last time that someone wants to interview us. It's like, that's it, no more.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure there'll be more. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Well, lads, I have had an absolute cracking night. It's been a buzzing interview. I've had nothing but a cracking laugh. So thank you very much for taking the time, chilling with us, having a bit of laugh, telling us more about yourselves, and we're looking forward to hear more what's coming out of the Wargrave camp really soon.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No
And,
problem.
thanks to everyone for sticking around.
Not a problem. Yeah, everyone that's been in chat tonight, thank you very much for hanging, and thank you for the epic questions and the personal questions about Steve's mum and Trent's hair growth. You evil bastards. But I love each and every one of you. Anyway, so if you have not got in any time to rush away, lads, we'll be hanging around and we're going to be playing some tunes afterwards. So if you want to stick around and hang around with for a little bit longer, I'll be here to about at least 11, half 11ish. So I'll be playing some tracks if you want to hang around with her.
Wicked. Nice one.
Excellent.
Cheers.
No worries. So anyway, take care, guys. Like I say, don't go anywhere. Hang around. We'll be playing some tunes for you real soon. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Take care, guys.
Cheers, guys. Take care. Later.
Yeah.
Bye.